Good morning, everyone. How are you? This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. All right, y'all, it's Thursday. We are almost to the end of the week. It is Thursday. It is October the 8th, 2020. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Pastor Alex. I'm just curious, how many of you made it through? I saw some of your posts. It's like, I'm out. I can't do it. Some said it was boring. Some said it was just the rudeness. I get it. Good morning, Yolanda. I get it. So some of you made it. Some of you did not. I'm proud of a few people who made it. I know Demia Candai said earlier she was out, but she stayed. She ended up staying. But we have to all admit it was better than the presidential debate. It was better than that debate. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Annette. Good morning, people. Y'all up bright and early. Good morning, Pastor Beverly. Y'all are up early. All right now, y'all. All right, that's great. All right, before I even get into the recap of the debate, and a few other headlines that I want to share with you as well. I want to give a shout out to two amazing people. Good morning, Latrice. Good morning, girl. Two amazing people I want to give a shout out to. Yesterday was their 31st wedding anniversary, and that is Kenneth Stanley and Kelly Stanley. So Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth and Kelly Stanley, happy 31st anniversary to you. The reason I am calling them out this morning is because they were the two of my first participants in my politically savvy workshop. I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. Good morning, Elizabeth. They have been supportive. They have been wanting me to run for office, and I'm like, no, but they've always been encouraging. So they get a special shout out today. So it was their 31st wedding anniversary on yesterday. We went to the same high school in Columbus, Ohio, and it's the best high school in the world, if you ask me. And that's East High School in the hood on Broad Street, still standing. So I just want to give them a shout out for their 31st wedding anniversary. All right, with that said, y'all, let's dive in. But now, here, seriously, to some degree, this is how you do a debate. Susan Page lost control several times where she could have kept control, but she lost it. Vice President Mike Pence was rude with a capital R-U-D-E. I also noticed that Susan Page was giving what I believe, and you all tell me if I'm wrong, giving Mike Pence more time than she was Senator Kamala Harris. So I want to hear from you if you all agree with me or disagree with me on that. And you know, I love me some Twitter, so I took to Twitter to let her know. Just like probably 1 million plus other people were letting her know that she was not giving equal time and he was breaking all rules. And, you know, and she would be like, thank you, Vice President. Thank you, Mr. Pence. Thank you. She was talking like that. But when she wanted to interrupt Senator Kamala Harris, she's like, thank you, Senator Harris, thank you. It was like a totally different demeanor or attitude or the way she responded to Senator Kamala Harris. And so I did take note of that. So just to recap some of the questions that I shared with y'all a couple of weeks ago, I said, who is monopolizing the platform? I think we all can agree that that was Vice President Mike Pence. Are the questions balanced? I think the questions were balanced, but here, he didn't answer any question. He did not answer one question. He came to try to clean up what the occupant of the Oval did the week before. That's what happened there. I believe she was, but Kamala Harris took her time back. She sure did. She was like, I want my time. You know, now I think everybody in the world knows. Now, I'm a black woman. But I think everybody in the world knows the look. The black woman look at you like, and she did it with such grace and power. He was deflecting, yes, a lot. But that she gave a look. And, you know, she would smile a little bit. And she was sitting there talking about not true. But now then she gave him some kudos. She said, oh, that was a good line. That was a good line. And that line was when he said it twice, like it was going to have the same effect the second time. Know when you gave a great line, and know at that point, don't do it again, because it doesn't have as much weight the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth time. And that was, his line was something like, this may not be a quote, but you can have your opinions, but you cannot make your own facts. Something he said like that, and she went, ooh, good line. But she gave him kudos, credit to the line. It's like, leave it alone now. Then he came back and said it again, but it didn't have as much weight the second time. So yeah, the look. So the questions were balanced, but the answers were not. And he didn't answer anything, I don't believe. Did the questions cover the issues? I believe it did. Do you talk about the locust, the fly? Not yet. I'll get there, Kenya. Y'all all want to talk about the fly. Hold on. That's my inspirational message. So hold on that. Do the questions cover the issues? Well, these were the issues. The pandemic. She talked to you, even called it this super spreader event. She had up there the pandemic. She had taxes. She had the economy. She had climate change. And she had the Supreme Court. And she also had, will they leave if they lose? Will they leave, or will they concede gracefully? I believe I covered, I gave all the highlights of that piece. So did they cover the issues? I believe Kamala Harris did her best. No, she did the best, but she did her best to cover the issues, but also say Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden. She kept saying, I'm the VP. He's a thing. There's already a relationship, which we know, between Senator Kamala Harris and former Vice President Joe Biden. We already know that because of Vice President Joe Biden's son. Her responses. She was on it with those responses, Sandra. She was on it. So that happened. Who was controlling the debate? Vice President Pence was controlling the debate. The moderator tried to, but she didn't do a good job. She started out very well. I don't know what happened. Did they answer the questions directly? Kamala Harris did, for the most part. Hold on, I have something that I want to pull out in a few moments about that. He didn't. He ain't answer nothing. Did they give specifics about their stance on issues or speak in generalities? Mike Pence was giving these stories. Mike Pence was he was so, forgive me, and I heard a couple of news people say this on different stations. I ain't sure he's well. I'm not sure he's well. I'm like, does he have a fever? And I thought that early on when it started. And then I started hearing some of the strategists bring that up too. Like, is he sick? There was something, he was so melancholy. I was like, where's his fire? And not that he ever has fire anyway. And I'm not saying that in a slam, but there was something not right with him. And I don't want to speculate, but I questioned if he was well. Do they support their positions? Kamala Harris supports her position. Vice President Pence supported the occupant's position. Do they talk about their own policies and positions? Same thing. Were their proposals realistic? Well, they were carrying out the proposals of the top seat who's running for office. Do they appear sincere, confident, relaxed? Kamala Harris did, but Kamala Harris bring out Mamala too. She brought out Mamala. She was like, and she had to smile. I was sitting back going, breathe. And at one point she had a look. I was like, put a smile on. You got to bring back the smile. Now we learned that from Michelle Obama. Bring back your smile. I was trying to not that she could hear me, but I was trying to Lord help her. Breathe a little bit, because she really wanted to come through that plexiglass at one point. I know she did. Y'all know she wanted to come for him. Y'all know she did a couple times. And then when she was like, ooh, she was looking like, it was almost like, y'all know most of us, especially in the African-American community, we all had a big mama, or we may still have a big mama. But I can remember my big mama going, ooh, child, you try that one more time. I could just see my big mama coming out of my aunt who played, who was that patriarch of our family. So I could see some of that. And I was like, ooh, they don't know what they have up there on that stage. This is real. It's about to go down. Are their answers consistent with their previous positions? And I would say both of them, yes. I would say both of them, yes. Looking at the way Mike Pence governed in Indiana, and the way Kamala Harris as the AG, as the Attorney General in California. What image of themselves are they trying to create? I believe Kamala Harris was trying to create, this is who I am. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be genuine. But I may also come with the attitude, but my attitude will also get some things straight. I think Mike Pence came with, I'm the man on the stage. Mother already is aware of this. And I'm not finished, so I'm going to keep talking. Now, I believe people were asking, and I was watching some of the strategists and some of the political analysts say this yesterday, and I have to agree with many of them. And that is this. Voters had already made up their mind. We were just watching it just to watch it. Did they move any voters? The only voters they possibly moved was that of Senator Kamala Harris being voters of suburban moms. She could have moved a percentage to the Biden-Harris ticket, in all honesty, because suburban moms, we have this thing. Now you're not gonna talk over me now. And I loved how Senator Harris was like, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. Don't interrupt me. And she was being real like, you got one more time here. Now, I done told you twice. The next time I'm coming over this plexiglass. But then she was able to lay back and go, oh, never mind. The fly got you. The fly got you. The fly is indicating, here's my inspirational message. I'll insert that right there. The fly is indicating that, no, something ain't right with you. Because the fly was too comfortable on your head. And those of you who, y'all know the word. Y'all read it for yourself. Check it out. That fly indicated, no, I don't have to say nothing else. Because that fly got you. And you don't even know the fly is on your head. The fly landed too comfortably and stayed there, they said, over 2 minutes. Over 2 minutes. So she saw that and went, oh, okay. Y'all, every now and then we have to just go, okay. And it was interesting, right about the 64, 65 minute mark. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but Kamala went, all right. And she just kind of like came into into just really a comfortable space. She was like, Now, she took one bite, and she should never have taken the bite. And that was, are y'all trying to stack the Supreme Court? Are y'all trying to stack Now, she answered that brilliantly. She answered it brilliantly. But that was not her question, and she should have never taken the bait. Now, he is a professional debater. He really is. And she's a excellent prosecuting attorney. She's an excellent. But she took that bait, and I was like, you should have never gone there. Now, she did come out and say, well, what about 50 and not one of them are black? Now, that spoke to some people, but that didn't speak to everybody. But she did put that out there because most people don't know that. But that is the truth. Out of 50 that they have appointed, not one of them, lifetime appointments, not one of them are black or brown people. Not one. So that was a good point. So let me go through this real quick. Pence now also notice this. Pence was to have the first question, but he didn't get the first question. Susan Page gave it to Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris. I thought that was interesting. Harris answered directly. She came out with the word, your greatest failure. She came out with that word. She gave numbers. She gave clarity. She also included the unemployment numbers of 30 million people. She took a page from Joe Biden, and spoke to the American people. That's how you do it. It's like, I'm talking to you. Pence gave the regular narrative of the White House. That continued. Pence did not answer. I don't know if y'all noticed this. He did not answer the question about the Rose Garden event. He did not answer it. He was just giving us, he was like a storyteller, he was very boring. He had nothing of substance, nothing. He gave an excuse about the super spreader. Harris said, you respect the people when you tell them the truth. Food, and she talked about the food line. She says she was putting it to where people could feel it. So she was always bringing it in like, this is how the American people are feeling right about now. And then Pence said this now, and I was mad that Kamala didn't come back, which I know it was probably a trap, but she still should have said something. Pence said, stop playing politics with people's lives. Stop undermining the American people. She should have dealt with that because she wasn't. She told the truth. She said, now if scientists, if Dr. Fauci, if Dr. Burke came out with a vaccine and they approved it, I'd be the first one in line. She was speaking to the moms of children right there. She was speaking to moms of children right there. Then she said, now if Donald Trump came out with a vaccine, no, I wouldn't take it. And she said it was such, like, whatever. And that ticked him off. That ticked Mike Pence off. And I think it ticked him off for two reasons. Now, this is just my own opinion. Number one, it ticked him off because he's like, you a woman, you supposed to be submissive to a man, and we're the leaders, we're of authority, and you're undermining us. It made me think of Handmaid's Tales. It did. Handmaid's Tales. It did. And I was like, ooh. And then I loved it towards the end. I'm jumping around. I loved it. And she says, oh no. She says, you will not sit up here and chastise my, I don't know if she's word chastise, but this is my response. Chastise my record. Oh, she was like, oh no. She goes, And so when Susan Page said, you get 15, no. He just took some of my time. I'm about to take his time. I'm controlling this narrative here. So she went there with him on that, but she should have really come back when he said, stop undermining the American people, because she was not doing that. She was speaking truth. She was not undermining. Now, safeguards and procedures, the question. Senator Harris did not answer the question. You will not lecture me. Thank you, Yvonne. You would not lecture me. Yes, that was the quote. You will not lecture me. That's how she responded. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Now, safeguards and procedure questions. She did not answer the question. She did not answer the question. I'm like, what? That was a softball easy question. Why didn't you answer that question? So I don't know if she was shaken, which I won't say she was ever shaken by Vice President Pence, but something went off and she didn't answer that question. The other question she did not answer, which, and I got to give Susan Page credit, she was also preparing Senator Harris. She was like, well, the Green New Deal is on your website. She was kind of like saying, so don't lie now. Don't lie because it's on your website. And I had to give Susan Page respect for that. But then Kamala did not answer the question. I got one word to sum up Pence, evangelical. Yep, pretty much. That's it. But she did not answer the question. So she could have said, well, yes, and I'm paraphrasing here. Yes, that is on our website. Those are some things that we're still looking at. We're looking at what's working and what's not working. She could have said something because Susan Page did hand it to her on a silver platter. Now, this is on your website, so don't lie. But she avoided the question. Harris came out, talked about the taxes and told everybody that that the occupant owes $400 million, and she wants to know who he owes the money to. Now, that was booyah. Yeah, put it on the table. She goes, but I want to know who he owes money to. And then Pence kept talking about, well, Trump has already released a stack of documents. What documents? Did y'all see something that I didn't? Because I didn't see those. Economy, Harris talked about the health and strength of the American family. She kept talking about the American family. And then every now and then she would throw in the 1% to let people know what they're doing is not helping you. It's not helping the American people. And then Pence said, day one, they will raise your taxes. Harris said, that is not what I said. That's a black woman for you. We will let you can't lie on us too many times. She said, that's not what I said. No, that's not what I said. And that's not what she said. So watch the spins for things like that. Climate change. Well, I just told you about the Green Deal. She didn't say. He did not answer any questions at all. And then she came back one final time. She said, "I'm speaking, okay?" Y'all, she just looked like, "I'm speaking, okay?" Like that's your final warning. And I don't know how much more time we have left up here. I'm sure she probably saw a clock in front of her. But she was probably like, "That's number 3. You get ready to get struck out here, buddy. You better slow your roll." So that's the debate. That's the debate. So it was good. I know some of y'all were like, y'all couldn't take it anymore. He was rude. And the reason I watched the debate, number 1, to report out to all of you, but the other reasons I watched the debates, all kinds actually. She said, "Okay," one time. Yep, she did. She really did say. You're right. She didn't say, "Okay." She said, "Okay." Like, listen here, buddy. Listen here. You're right, Kenya. But I watch the debates because I want to see the spin. And again, I'm always watching. I told y'all this even when I'm watching news reports and looking at the media releases. I'm always looking for what's not there. And I could not understand why Mike Pence was not answering one question. And it's pretty much because he was really trying to answer. If y'all watch, and I know it's hard, but if you think back to the debate, the first presidential debate, Mike Pence was actually answering those questions that the occupant didn't answer the week before. I saw that. The other thing that I noticed was, you don't want us to know what's happening. But he made one slip. Y'all, he made a slip. The slip was, the vaccine will not be into play until a year. Did y'all catch that? He slipped, and then he tried, even his facial expression was like, did I just say that? And I'm wondering why no one is picking that up on all the Twitter feeds and Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook. He made that slip. So he, in that point, was letting the American people say, he don't know what he's talking about, but I can tell you right now, it's not coming out for at least a year. He made that slip. So you caught that too, Kim Kills? Yep, he made that slip. And his whole face said, "Oh, shoot, I done said too much." So I always watch that. I watch the demeanor. I watch if they answer the question just a little bit or not at all. And if they answer the question, I'm thinking, yeah, they're on point. They're on point with that. So y'all, that was the debate. Will there be a debate Tuesday in Miami? I don't know. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear what they say about Mike Pence today or tomorrow. All right, other headlines. The occupant ended his quarantine, held meetings in the Oval, and then recorded a video outside without a mask. That happened. Coronavirus numbers in the U.S., there are 7,776,224 confirmed cases. There are 216,784 deaths. Yeah, World Health Organization. I bypassed the CDC. There are 4,983,380 recovered. Let's celebrate that recovery number. Y'all, there was a Texas doctor, age 28, who died of COVID. She wore the same mask for weeks, if not months. And that's the Guardian reporting that. So just prayers to her family. I don't see her name on any of the I'm sorry, Dr. Fagan, Fagan, Dr. Fagan, tested positive in early July and died. And she wore the same mask for weeks, if not months. Y'all, here's this. This is great news. This is saying people are tired. Y'all, as of yesterday, there have been 5,183,991 votes cast. Keep voting, y'all. Keep voting. Keep voting. For those of you who have not voted yet, start voting if you can. Early vote in your area. Democrats are outvoting Republicans in Florida, 53% to 28%. Third party has 19%. This happened in Ohio, but it's happening in other places. I heard it happened in Virginia as well. Y'all, blue represents the Democratic Party and red represents the Republican Party. So be careful when people hand you literature. In Ohio, people are handing blue literature, telling you like this is your sample vote ballot, but it's not, blue is not representing Democrats. Blue is representing the Republican Party. So that's like a trick that people are doing, saying, here, take this, go in here and vote this way. Look at the names. Do your sample ballot before you leave your home. Again, you can go to ballotready.org, ballotready.org, and you put in your information and they'll give you a sample ballot. You can print that off and take that with you. So be on the lookout for that. Y'all, the appeals court deal blows to Trump on tax returns. There's the Manhattan District Attorney can enforce his subpoena for President Trump's, I said his name, for the occupant of the Oval's tax returns. When I'm reading a quote, so he got his name said today. All right. So they rejected the bid of his lawyers. They're like, nope, we about to subpoena these babies. Y'all, Washington Post reports that millions brace for hunger, utility shutoffs, more layoffs, as stimulus talks break down, although they did say they were going to send out another check for $1,200. I don't know if anything has signed or been passed yet. The nation has 26 million people on unemployment aid and more than 5 million small businesses that relied on government aid and waiting on a new deal. Remember, y'all, that $600 weekly benefit expired in July, at the end of July, and they have not replaced that yet. Also, y'all, that man, I won't mention his name. Y'all know who he is. The man who murdered George Floyd is freed after posting $1 million bond. That's not good. I told y'all yesterday about South Carolina, where now they want to have signatures witnessed on their absentee ballot. Well, y'all, Justice Clarence Thomas, he has made a motion, but is to my understanding has been denied. He has made a motion that will require ballots that were already mailed in before they made that vote on Monday, before they reinstated that rule on Monday. He wants those ballots returned to the people with signatures. Isn't that interesting? So we don't know where we're standing there yet. There have been 18,000 ballots that have already been sent in. So 18,000. So Clarence Thomas wants those 18,000 ballots sent back to those people and have them witnessed, have their signatures witnessed. And I heard an attorney on I think it was PBS yesterday, PBS NewsHour, that said a person cannot sign twice. So that will then invalidate their vote, their ballot, if they sign twice. So those 18,000 are in the catch-22. So let's hope Clarence Thomas his rule doesn't go forward. All right, y'all, Sesame Street, and I'm almost done. Sesame Street. They have always pressed for inclusion. Now in the wake of National Reckoning on Race, and I'm reading this quote, is going further, teaching children to stand up against racism. Sesame Street Workshop, the nonprofit education organization behind Sesame Street, will air the half-hour anti-racist special. The Power of We is the name of the special, and they're hoping families will watch. I'm watching. Brenda Troy, if you on here, Sesame Street. So check that out. All right, y'all, for the win. His name is Greg, and he's a locksmith. CNN reported this on yesterday, and I was like, wow, he gets the win. Locksmith helped save a Utah woman who wrote 911 on her hand in a silent plea for help. This happened, y'all. Her ex-boyfriend had entered the house. She had called the locksmith to come to change the lock so that her ex-boyfriend could not get into the house with the keys or whatnot that he had. So the locksmith came. He had already been scheduled to come. She was able to let him in to start working on the door. Somehow she was able to write on her hand 911. When he handed her the invoice, somehow she showed him her hand. She wasn't sure because he had a mask on if he saw it or not. So she showed it a second time. He said he locked eyes with her to let her know, I see this. He went to his truck or whatever, called the FBI, who was a FBI representative who's a friend of his. They got the sheriffs out there to her home ASAP in Utah. So for the win, Greg the locksmith. Greg the locksmith for the win. That's all I got. That's all I got, y'all. All right, tomorrow, I was told from somebody, and I think she's still on here, that I have not done question and answers for about 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. Send me your questions, inbox me your questions, text message me your questions, email me your questions, and I'll get through as many questions as we possibly can on tomorrow. All right, y'all, remember that inspirational message. The fly could arrive at any time and expose you. So make sure you are walking in truth. Make sure you are walking in integrity. Make sure you are walking with a reputation, a reputation where Jesus Christ can smile and say, that's my girl, that's my boy, that's my child. So live the best life you can possibly live. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank you for handling the debate. Some of you said, peace out, you couldn't do it. I understand. And once again, happy anniversary to Kenneth and Kelly Stanley. 31 years of marriage. We say happy anniversary to you. Thank you for the many years of support that you have been supporting me. And I am out. I got to go to IG. All right, y'all. Until tomorrow, send me your questions so I can answer them. Send me your questions so I can answer them. I am Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Make it a great day. I'll see you tomorrow right here, 7:25, if God allows me to do so. Peace out.